Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. And another thing about Instagram, feel free to message me. Sometimes I may be a little slow to respond, especially in the coming weeks and months. I'm going to be pretty busy with a lot of things going on my end. Anyways, I'm looking at what happened with Panini. Panini is, I want to say this carefully, allegedly not fulfilling all the redemptions that they're supposed to fulfill. And there's a lawsuit brought upon them, and many complaints have been sent to the Better Business Bureau. And if all of these statements are true and complaints are true, that's really, really, really unfortunate. And some of the reasons why Panini may not be able to fulfill these redemptions is they're blaming some of these athletes not signing the cards on time. Regardless whether the athletes sign the cards on time, why is Panini then having these redemption or giving these redemption cards? It doesn't make any sense to me. If you are involved as a company and saying that, hey, you could fulfill this card or you could redeem this card for an autograph, and then you turn around saying, no, that's not technically a contract, and sorry, you're out of luck. That is not a good business practice if that is happening, just as many individuals are claiming. And I'm not sure what's going to happen in the court of law. I'm not an attorney. If you're an attorney, let me know uh, who would be victorious in this, whether it's the person that's trying to redeem a card or whether it's Panini. Point that out below. I'm curious to hear your response. Now, it goes into the picture that a lot of these companies right now in the sports card industry, I believe they are a bit out of touch with the consumers and all of the collectors. For instance, PSA earlier this year was saying, hey, we're going to definitely open back up. But then they pull off all these shenanigans with these rate hikes, not rate hikes, but price increases. And it's really not authentic in what they were doing. And I did a few videos about that earlier this year. I mean, I even called out Nat Turner about that. I wasn't too pleased. Regardless, I don't trust PSA as of this moment. I like the previous leadership. Now, the criticism that I had of PSA last year was that they decided to shut down, they decided to take all these cards in and they weren't able to send the cards back out, probably because they were at the mercy of Wall Street. They used to be a publicly traded firm, and they just kept all the cards, and they still haven't delivered the cards within a year. So it's pretty unfortunate that's happening. I believe that PSA is going to come up with some sort of game plan for the future. But that being said, their brand definitely took a hit. Now, what does this mean in terms of the coming years? Well, I did talk about 2024 in all my videos and what I think about that, right? The decline going into that year. And I expect crazy things going on. And I know some people are going to be like, hey, you're negative. Why don't you say anything positive about the hobby and this and that? And hey, here's something positive. A lot of people got back into the hobby the last few years. That's a good thing, to take their mind off of all the tension in our society. I think that's great. But one of the negative parts of the hobby is these corporations have gotten really bigger, and you have a lot and I'm not against big corporations in general, but I just don't like the fact that you have all this hedge fund, private equity, Wall Street money coming in to this hobby. Now, it may help my high end cards that I'm selling because you got those guys coming in, but at the same time, when you have that situation, now all these companies care about the bottom line. They care about top line growth. They don't care about customer service. And PSA, from my experience and what other people say, they don't have great customer service. And it's unfortunate because if you go to a shop, a baseball shop or a card shop in your area, most of the time these guys have a great reputation. I mean, just the way you talk to them, it's how you want to be treated. Now, when you deal with some of these other bigger companies, they don't treat you in the same way as a local card dealer. And I'm sure there are some shady card dealers out there, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, I've had pretty good experiences when I've dealt with a local card dealer. Just the way they talk to you, the way they treat you, the customer service, it's fantastic. And because of this, I'm quite worried if, for instance, a lot of these companies are coming out with the ability, and I've talked about this in my previous videos, the ability to store your cards within the company vault. And they say it's secured, it's insured, etc., etc., etc. And I'm going back to the example of what I was talking about earlier, how Panini didn't allow some people to redeem their cards. Now, in a crazy situation, suppose the market goes insane. I'm talking about stock market, the overall economy. And I'm just going based on what Avi Gilbert, I've talked about this guy multiple times. He's had really accurate predictions. You could follow him on Seeking Alpha, on his website, Elliott Wave Theory. I think it's Elliott Wave Theory. Just Google him. He is more right than wrong. And he's been very bullish on the market. And he just reads charts. He looks at Elliott Wave Theory and he looks at what other analysts that he has on his team. They look at different things and he looks at different things and he comes to a conclusion where the market's going to go. And because of his great ability, he's been able to forecast many of the up moves in the market. And what he's forecasting, and I've said this many times, next few years, market is going to go down. Okay? The market goes down, everything goes down. Real estate, sports cards, in my opinion, it could be cryptos, even some of the metals that I own and bullion that I own. I understand what happens in a downturn. Now, if you're looking at all of this, and if he's saying also he expects some major problems in the banking indices and indexes and stocks, and he says there could be potential bail-ins, look into what bail-ins are. It happened in Cyprus, and it happened in Greece last decade. It was something crazy where people couldn't redeem their money in their banks, and then on top of it, anyone with over 100,000 euros in those countries were taxed just to pay the fair share, to pay for all that mess. And yes, some of these things that I'm saying sound crazy, but I'm just following guys that have great predictions, have great analysis of the market. And what does this have to do with sports cards? Well, like I said, Panini didn't allow redemption of these cards. Now, in a Mad Max situation, what happens if a PWCC or a Golden say, sorry, unfortunately, we cannot allow redemption of the cards because we're going through some sort of bankruptcy protection issue or whatever. It sounds insane. I don't expect these companies to go bankrupt, but hey, if you have a banking crisis, anything is bound to happen. Sounds insane right now. but I've been talking about the structural and fundamental problems in our economy. I personally would not want to send any card to a vault where I don't have access to getting the card within what 1 hour time frame. I may have some of my cards in the bank, but I'm about 30 minutes away from that bank, so I'm not too worried. And some people are like, dude, these companies have insurance. Well, I looked at what happened in 2008 with these CDOs, with Lehman Brothers, mortgage backed securities. So, their mortgage backed securities they invested in, they basically went to zero. And all of the insurance on it, no one could fulfill the insurance. And then, bada bing, bada boom, the whole system had to be bailed out. And like I said, in a situation like that, where everything is imploding, the insurance companies will not be able to fulfill the requests. Now, like I said, hopefully, or like I hope, I don't want this to happen. Probability of this isn't extremely high, but at the same time, I I don't want to put my cards in a place where I don't have control of, where I don't have access to in a timely manner. And I follow gold and silver, and there's a saying around silver stackers: if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And that's the way that I look at with these cards. If I don't have it in my possession, or if I don't have easy access to it, I technically don't own it. It's in the hands of someone else. And I don't want to, scare people or tell people to bunker down. No, I'm not telling them. I just want to warn them of how these things happen in bankruptcy. And I'll leave you this with this one story where I was working for this one marketing company, and I was in the accounting department, and I overheard some of my colleagues. Someone had sent a check to a company, and I believe they overpaid, and this company was bankrupt. It was in the process of bankruptcy. And what happened was, I believe our company asked for the money back. I think for whatever that was overpaid. The other company says, sorry, we're not allowed to disperse any funds because of bankruptcy protection. So this is how strange it was, where our company made a mistake by overpaying, but they overpaid to a company that was technically bankrupt. So I'm just saying that wherever you're storing your cards, you better be very careful where you're storing them. And I've seen that these corporations now involved in this hobby, they are not like the local dealers out there. The local dealers, the sports card shop, they are, in my opinion, great for this hobby. But I believe they're going to be slowly replaced by companies like Fanatics. And I have mixed feelings about Fanatics, because I talked to my wife yesterday about Fanatics, and she said that, no, I've had good experience with them. But at the same time, when you see these local mom and pop shops could be not destroyed, but could face fierce competition from them, I mean, I really don't like it, to be honest. I mean, I'm all about competition and laissez-faire, but these big corporations, they really don't care about customer service. And customer service is what made some of these small companies amazing to deal with. And I think that's going to slowly but steadily go away. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. You think that what I'm saying is crazy? That's fine. Leave a comment below. You think I'm negative? That's fine. I'm just sharing some of the things that I've read in my past about financial markets, what's happened, the crazy things that are going on. Hopefully, it doesn't go to that route, but at the same time, if you don't hold it, you technically don't own your cards. So that's just one thing to note, guys. Anyways, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thanks. Bye.